In today's episode of MAHA Voices, we hear from Amaryllis Fox Kennedy, the campaign manager for the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. presidential run. Amaryllis has been a key figure to many volunteers who invested deeply in the work and efforts to get Mr. Kennedy on the ballot in all 50 states. Amaryllis details why this unity movement with President Trump has significance and why supporting it with our votes is the best way to get Mr. Kennedy prominently involved in the next administration.
Like many in our community at the beginning, I wasn't sure how deep the collaboration could or would be if it came together. The first time that I had met President Trump in person, and I realized that I had fallen into that same logic gulp that so many of us do, where you know something to be true about your guy, in this case, the fact that every news story that had run about Bobby in the last 2 years was not only wildly wrong and mischaracterized him, but was actually, in many ways, the polar opposite up is down, war is peace approach to media that we know today. And yet somehow I hadn't realized that the same thing was true of President Trump. I was really struck by his appetite for getting into very specific policy details. That seemed to me a promising start, but we still went into the fall not really being entirely sure what, if any, role Bobby would have in a future administration. It was really important to Bobby from a spiritual point of view to make the endorsement based on what he thought was best for the country, come what may. And what has followed with each and every one of you could have been in all of the meetings that we've had over the last 2 months, so far beyond my expectations. The hunger for Bobby's policy input, his personnel choices, the readiness to plan events and write executive orders and determine not just the first layer of each of the components leadership, but the deputies and the chiefs of staff and the comms people, for the prioritization to come out of the transition team, that this isn't just window dressing, that we want to make sure that Bobby's picks and his input affect not just those who are going to get the slots on the weekend talk shows, but all of those in the layers beneath them that are going to be doing the hard work of execution every day. Has been incredibly encouraging. Don Jr. has been a really vocal advocate and ally for the Make America Healthy Again movement across the right, as has JD. It's been really exhilarating, actually, to see the entire MAGA movement rise up to center this topic. It is really heartening and exciting to see our children's health be such a point of excitement and animation for the entire MAGA meets MAHA movement in this country. You can have the most beautiful policy binders in the world, and the moment there's an emergency, I probably would say real or imagined, those policy binders get stuffed in a drawer, and the only thing that matters is who's in the room. So it's really crucial to Bobby to make sure that those people are going to make the right decisions when they're under pressure. Integrity is doing what's right when no one's watching. And those are the people that Bobby and the Trump transition team together are filling these roles with. The last time around, President Trump was quite honest about saying we really didn't expect to win. By the time you realize that you have, and you get that sheet of 4,500 roles, and especially including the holidays, you basically have 5 to 6 weeks to find brave people who will put their career on the line to protect the Constitution and stand up for the American people. We all are lucky to know a lot of those people, but 4,500 is a lot. I barely see my children awake for the last 2 years, so I understand what it is to have poured every part of your heart and life and soul into this movement, and how the last 2 months shift into this alliance, it can have been jarring for some people. I wish each of you could have sat at the table and witnessed what I have, because it's brought me from a place of questioning to a place of absolute certainty that Bobby will be able to achieve all that he is setting out to achieve on behalf of American health if we elect Donald Trump president. Kamala Harris has said
they are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
Well, we know what that means. So please, for our children, for future generations, please get out and vote. And my one request of you, please vote for Donald Trump.